In the beginning of the drama, we see a young woman named Samantha, who has a strange ability no one else has. One day, while riding a bus, she sees a boy harassing a girl. So she grabs him and beats him up, then uses her power to make him scream in fear. We learn her ability lets her change her face into any other face. This power wasn't something she was born with, though, so the story rewinds 3 months. We meet a new protagonist, Tyler, who owns a cosmetics company but actually hates filters and heavy makeup on women, feeling that many girls hide their real appearance behind them. Around the same time, Samantha interviews at Tyler's company. As she steps into the elevator, the staff eye her with obvious distaste, but she assumes the company values competence over looks. To her shock, the manager insults her the moment he sees her photo on the resume and rejects her on the spot. Upset, she goes to sit in a park across from the building and calls a friend to vent. A young man with some files sits down next to her. Assuming he was rejected too, she tries to comfort him, not realizing he's actually Tyler, the owner. Tyler eventually leaves, forgetting a pink box behind. Back home, Samantha starts thinking about a boy she liked in school. Her old classmates are organizing a reunion. We learn she lives with her mother, father, and her sister, who is a lawyer. Her sister encourages her to go to the reunion, joking she might run into her old crush. Meanwhile, Tyler is talking to his friend about the very same reunion, the twist being that Tyler is that same boy Samantha used to admire. The next day, Samantha dresses up for the reunion, but ends up helping set up chairs and ruins her look right before Tyler walks in. Both privately assume the other won't remember them. While chatting with old classmates, Samantha's claim about where she works gets exposed as a lie when someone's boyfriend turns out to work there too, and she's mortified. Trying to open a drink bottle by hand, she surprises everyone with her raw strength, and a line forms for her to open bottles. When it's Tyler's turn, she gets nervous, the bottle bursts, her makeup smears off, and Tyler is stunned by her real face. He secretly snaps a photo. Humiliated, Samantha runs off crying. Outside, she buys flowers from an elderly street vendor, who gives her a bracelet as a gift. Unbeknownst to Samantha, it's magical. On the subway ride home, the lights flicker, and when they come back on, she's transformed into a strikingly beautiful woman. Strangers compliment her, and even her own parents walk past without recognizing her. Panicked, she checks her reflection in a car mirror, then pulls out a small mirror and reverts to normal, convincing herself it was all an illusion. The next day, her sister tells her it's no wonder the guy was shocked, since she doesn't take care of her appearance. Meanwhile, Tyler is at work hunting for a natural, beautiful model. Samantha's friend calls Tyler, since she's also a former classmate, and tells him he owes Samantha an apology, even offering him a free warehouse lease if he does. He refuses, insisting he did nothing wrong, not realizing Samantha is standing nearby and overhears everything. Hurt, she slips away. Moments later, she spots a child about to be struck by something and rushes to save him. Tyler runs out to help too and is stunned to see Samantha in her transformed, beautiful state. Impressed, he offers her a modeling job on the spot. She's shocked to realize, via the reflection in his glasses, that her appearance has changed again. He gives her his number and tells her to think it over. Her friend, confused by the transformation, is eventually convinced it's really Samantha when she opens a fingerprint lock door with her own finger. They try and fail to remove the bracelet, until Samantha presses it and a hidden symbol keypad appears, visible only to her, letting her learn to switch between her original look and new faces at will. The two name this new persona Mia, and start experimenting with the bracelet's disguises, clothes, makeup, and even voice. Meanwhile, Tyler tracks down Mia's number after spotting his company's logo on her bag. Around the same time, Samantha, disguised as Mia, sees her sister arguing with an angry man whose wife she'd helped divorce him. Samantha steps in and drives him off, then gives her sister pepper spray for safety. Her sister then lands her a marketing trainer job at a company, and soon after, that same company calls Samantha in for an interview the next day. Tyler, meanwhile, sits sketching Mia's face from memory and saves her number as Angel Sue, referring to her original identity's beauty. At the interview, staff mistake her for Mia and rush her into different clothes and makeup, confusing which woman was actually invited. Tyler insists this can't be the woman he wants, so a discouraged Samantha ducks into the bathroom, remembering a past prank where she was told he liked heavy makeup and instead scared him off. This time she transforms into Mia, dazzling Tyler, though Mia coldly declares she won't work with people so shallow, insisting real beauty is about character, not looks, and walks out. Tyler chases Samantha down, assuming she must know Mia personally since she'd shown up in Mia's place, and begs her to convince Mia to meet him. Samantha and her friend cook up a revenge plan. She'll meet him again as Mia, deliberately wearing everything Tyler is known to dislike, a glittery dress, flashy accessories, food he hates, to make him suffer. She even uses the bracelet to summon flies around herself and later to trigger a fake allergic reaction, planning to storm off, but Tyler admits he actually likes her confidence, since most women would have fled after such a reaction. Meanwhile, Samantha's friend and Tyler's friend cross paths over a turtle a street vendor is trying to overcharge for. She outsmarts him and buys it cheap. Samantha starts her new marketing job and overhears colleagues saying the company might go under if Mia won't work with them, which makes her feel guilty. She also spots the same pink box Tyler once left behind. During a meeting, Tyler keeps calling Mia. Samantha finally answers and agrees to work with them, on one condition. Tyler has to do whatever she says. She has him film himself pouring water over his head while apologizing to her, then send it to their old classmates group chat. During filming, Tyler goofs around to cheer up a nervous Samantha, then Mia pours water over herself to prove her makeup is waterproof, and Tyler, recalling everything, thinks she's never looked more beautiful. Samantha spends the day juggling both identities, telling coworkers that Samantha convinced Mia to take the job. The team celebrates with a dinner. Samantha drinks too much and calls her friend for a ride, but Tyler's friend mistakenly gets into her friend's car thinking it's his own, then gets sick in it. Meanwhile, staff tells Samantha her friend is asleep inside and they need to close up, only for Samantha to realize the sleeping person is actually Tyler. She carries him home effortlessly and ends up falling asleep there herself. Waking up and trying to sneak out, she's caught by Tyler at the door. She quickly switches her face to Mia's, and a thrilled Tyler assumes Mia stayed the night, immediately calling his friend to share the news. He also notices her bracelet and tries it on himself. At a company celebration for hiring Samantha, she overhears coworkers say they prefer Mia over her, stinging her pride. Tyler, meanwhile, tells his friend he wants to marry Mia and keeps calling her, but Samantha, buried in work as her true self, can't answer. That night, thunder strikes and the bracelet begins glitching, switching her identities on its own. Hearing a noise, Tyler comes to check, hoping to see Mia. Samantha hugs him to hide her face, then knocks him out before he can see her real one. Meanwhile, Tyler's friend, visiting to repay a debt, stumbles on Mia at the friend's house and realizes the two women are close friends. The next day he tells Tyler what happened. Samantha starts working from home as the bracelet's glitch keeps her stuck as Mia for longer stretches. Tyler invites Mia to a seaside dinner, where he confesses he's been drawn to her since the moment they met, that he loves her, and that he wants to marry her. Right then, thunder strikes again and the bracelet starts switching her face uncontrollably. To avoid exposure, she leaps into the sea. Tyler dives in after her, chasing her all the way to the harbor, where she escapes in her friend's car. Later, visiting the friend's house to ask why Mia ran off, he witnesses Mia take a bad fall down the stairs and rushes her to the hospital. Realizing Tyler is growing too attached, Samantha, as Mia, tells him she doesn't love him, hoping he'll back off, and he leaves heartbroken. The next day, Samantha's friend meets her publisher and wins a prize at a promotional lottery event, which she refuses when Tyler's friend tries to give it to her. He later learns from Samantha's sister that Samantha hasn't been to work in 2 days. At the hospital, Tyler visits and helps Samantha out of bed. Afterward, worried the bracelet's effect is about to wear off, she wraps bandages around her face, but Tyler recognizes the bracelet immediately, and when her friend's sister enters, tries to remove the bandages. When he sees her face, he's shocked that she shares the same bracelet and the same injury as Mia. Samantha quickly claims the two friends simply share matching bracelets, and her sister whisks her home. Later, Samantha and her friend decide to tell the sister everything. Tyler discovers Samantha has been doing company work from the hospital, and accuses her of leaking confidential business info to Mia. When he goes to confront her, he instead meets the sister, and it's revealed a fresh bracelet update now lets Samantha transform into objects and animals, not just people, so she keeps turning into statues and paintings to dodge him until he finally leaves. Still determined to talk to her, Tyler is told that Mia borrowed her laptop for work, implying nothing improper. That night, Samantha texts Tyler telling him not to love her, not to come near her, though he fixates only on the part where she mentions meeting again later in the week, and it makes him happy. The next day at work, he asks how to win Mia's heart. She tells him to just be himself. Meanwhile, Samantha discovers a coworker stole her marketing plan and passed it off as her own. Using the bracelet, she transforms into a frightening cartoon-like figure to scare a confession out of the coworker, then forgives her, and Tyler, who witnesses it all, is struck by how kind Samantha truly is. Elsewhere, Samantha's friend and Tyler's friend keep bumping into each other. After she slips and tears her pants at the market, he lends her his jacket. Samantha, her sister, and her friend then hatch a risky plan to make Tyler move on from Mia. They stage a romantic meeting where Mia fakes a scorpion sting to look near death, but the plan misfires when Tyler accidentally kills the scorpion. Left with only a lightning strike filter, she fakes being struck and appears to die in front of him. Tyler faints and is rushed to the hospital, believing Mia has died. At her staged funeral, Samantha, her sister, and her friend pretend to mourn while secretly relieved Tyler will finally move on. But Tyler spirals into heavy drinking and eating foods he's allergic to, developing an eye condition severe enough to risk his eyesight. Tyler's friend visits Samantha's friend hoping for a memento that smells like Mia, and instead finds her makeup and her signed contract. Struggling to read it with his blurred vision, Tyler realizes something's wrong. When Samantha learns Tyler has the contract, she rushes to his house to retrieve it, but he won't let her in, so she transforms into an alpaca instead. Her friend tells Tyler the alpaca was Mia's pet, and he takes it in. In animal form, Samantha destroys the contract and makeup before anyone can trace fingerprints back to her, while Tyler dotes on the alpaca and confesses to it how much he loves Mia, admiring her childlike innocence and never once mentioning her looks. Hearing this, Samantha realizes Tyler never cared about appearances at all. We then learn Tyler is sensitive to bright light. The day they first met at the reunion, sunlight had kept him from seeing her face clearly, and it was her kindness he fell for, not her looks. Even the flashy dress that seemed to disgust him had simply triggered his light sensitivity. Realizing how unfairly she judged him, a moved Samantha notices he's kept her old hair clip as a keepsake, waits for him to fall asleep, and carries him to bed before leaving. His eyes improve significantly the next morning. She later takes him to the zoo to visit the alpaca, and a week later he returns to work, throwing himself into it to try to forget Mia. Meanwhile, Samantha's friend and Tyler's friend start spending more time together. At work, Samantha's marketing input impresses everyone, though Tyler won't openly credit her. Walking him home afterward, he opens up about their school days, surprised she remembers he paid attention to her back then. And he notices a pendant in her bag he assumes belonged to Mia, which she explains they bought together. Samantha then helps her sister with the case, a client suing her abusive husband and business partner, who was injured investigating something important. Using the bracelet, Samantha takes on the client's face to stop the husband from selling stolen research to Tyler's company. Disguised as the client, she confronts the husband at the office. Tyler overhears the argument and steps in when the husband tries to attack her, though the husband accuses her of assault instead. Tyler's friends urge him to drop the partnership given the couple's drama, but he refuses, curious about the outcome of their divorce. The client later shows Tyler evidence of the abuse. A moment of accidental closeness makes his heart race, as if he's starting to fall for her. Though initially reluctant to get involved, he eventually reports the husband to police and backs her case. Tyler later asks Samantha, who understands the product well, to join a business meeting, forcing her to juggle her identity as the disguised client throughout, repeatedly excusing herself to the bathroom to switch faces. The plan works. Afterward, Samantha learns the husband sold the stolen research to a rival company anyway, so disguised as the client, she cancels the deal herself. When the husband tries to attack her again, Tyler intervenes and fights him off, warning him never to touch her again. Afterward in the park, the client tends to Tyler's injuries while he seems lost in thought, while Samantha quietly wrestles with her own feelings. It becomes clear Tyler hasn't fallen for Samantha herself, but for the client persona she's been wearing. His friend later tells him he needs to be sure whether it's real love or just sympathy. Tyler messages that he'll be at the lab. Samantha rushes over, dropping her work. They share a quiet meal until the power goes out, and Tyler lights a lamp so they aren't left in the dark. They keep talking until electricity returns, only to find the client's husband there with another man. Suspicious something is going on between Tyler and his wife. Samantha hides just in time, then reappears as herself to scold them for the impropriety of the situation. The husband, unconvinced, leaves after Tyler snaps that the client is beautiful. Tyler asks where the client went. Samantha claims she ran off, and that she herself only happened by coincidence to help him. That night, Samantha can't stop thinking about Tyler calling her beautiful. The next day, the husband leaks photos of Tyler and Samantha together, and co-workers accuse her of chasing Tyler, but he publicly insists it's the other way around. Samantha tries to clear the air, but Tyler affirms he meant every word, and begins sending her flowers daily until the legal case wraps up. Samantha assumes it's only about the case, not realizing his compliments were about her specifically. She and her friend then secretly film the husband cheating with his secretary, with help from Tyler's friend, kept in the dark himself, using an invisibility filter to record undetected, and celebrate their success. But then the real client wakes from her coma. Her husband finds out first and takes her away, thinking she'd been deceiving him. Tyler chases after them and alerts Samantha, who tracks them down. By the time she arrives, the husband has already tied Tyler up. Disguised as the client, Samantha tries to help, only to find Tyler's already freed himself while the husband has vanished. Prioritizing finding the real client, she first locks Tyler in a room to keep him out of the way, shielding his light-sensitive eyes and creating a diversion past security. She frees the real client and tells her to run, but Tyler sees the client escape and feels abandoned. Disguised as the client again, Samantha rescues Tyler a second time. While trying to keep him from seeing two lookalikes at once, she locks him away, but the bracelet malfunctions during a thunderstorm and she can't switch back or lock the door properly. Tyler wanders out and finds the real client, confused by how weak and frightened she seems, just as police arrive to save her from her husband. Samantha watches from a distance as Tyler studies the client thoughtfully, clearly trying to sort out his feelings. Tyler later tells his friend over drinks that he feels something for the client, though he's also unsure and sometimes feels nothing at all. The real client, meeting Samantha in person, is struck by how much she resembles her earlier rescuer and thanks her warmly. In court, she's granted her divorce. Despite her husband's attempts to win her back, she leaves with her lawyer, who throws her a divorce celebration, and she formally signs the contract with Tyler's company. That night, Tyler visits the lab unaware Samantha, disguised as the client, and the real client are both present since the bracelet is still down. Hearing a noise from a cabinet, the client claims she'd been pretending to be a wax statue. Tyler invites her to dinner, but she sends Samantha instead, who walks with him a long way before excusing herself for work. Meanwhile, the real client, nervous about filming a new product promo, locks herself away out of fear. Samantha coaxes her out, telling her to just be herself and not worry what others think, advice that helps the filming succeed. Later, disguised as the client in the garden, Samantha is startled when Tyler sits beside her and confesses, "I love you." She flees. Soon after, the real client shows up, and a confused Tyler asks if she loves him. She has no idea what he means and walks off, leaving him unsettled. Back home, Samantha tells the client about the confession, but the client insists Tyler has fallen for Samantha's disguised identity, not for her. The next day, a new bracelet update lets Samantha transform into fictional characters. She and her friend scheme again. Samantha becomes a male character, Kevin, pretending to date the client to make Tyler jealous, and it works. Tyler, hurt, asks to speak with her once more. She tells him she has two sides, a strong one and a weak one, and the strong side will eventually fade away. Shaken by the news, Tyler suddenly starts seeing the entire world in black and white, unable to distinguish colors, even traffic lights. When a car nearly hits him, Samantha saves him just in time. Strangely, he can still see her in full color even though nothing else has any. Samantha initially fears he was trying to hurt himself, not realizing it's simply that he can't perceive color anymore. He thanks her and leaves. When it starts raining, she returns with an umbrella and walks him home. He tells her to dry off and change before heading back herself. She pretends not to recognize his house, despite having been there before in animal form. After dinner, sudden stomach pain sends her home with help from her friend and Tyler's friend. A doctor tells Tyler his colorblindness is psychological, and oddly, advises him to spend more time with the one person he can still see in color. Out on a walk, Tyler chases a boy he perceives in full color, only to find the boy belongs to Samantha's friend, who explains they've known each other since childhood. In truth, Samantha had transformed into a character from her friend's novel, so her friend could actually see her. That night, Tyler asks Samantha out for coffee to talk through his condition. While riding the subway together, the train stops suddenly, and hugging her restores his color vision, but it fades again the moment he lets go. He holds her hands tightly. Annoyed, she pushes him away, then later apologizes and wraps a scarf around his neck to keep him warm. Days later, preparing for a work conference, Samantha and her friend share a hotel room, and her disguised character Kevin is also invited, coincidentally assigned the room next to Tyler's. Visiting as Kevin, Samantha finds Tyler struggling to pick out clothes even in dim light, and later notices he can't distinguish grape colors either, prompting her to stay and keep him company. Tyler starts noticing that Kevin behaves oddly like both the client he loved and like Mia. The next day, Samantha's friend tells her Tyler has landed a color-related assignment for the presentation, so Samantha labels all his clothes with color names to keep him from mixing them up. At the event, a woman from a rival company approaches, seemingly aware of Tyler's condition, hoping to expose him on camera during a makeup demo. Tyler calls Samantha's friend for help, who sends Samantha to save the situation. She lets Tyler apply the makeup on her live on camera, defusing the trap. Afterward, on a walk, Tyler admits he can see color whenever she's near. When she hugs him, his vision returns fully, and a kiss on the cheek fixes it completely. She leaves for a show that evening, and Tyler and his friend are proud of both her and her friend's performances that day. Still, Tyler grows suspicious about Kevin and Samantha, since he can see both of them in full color even during his colorblind episodes. Confronting Samantha, She has him look through a window and see both figures standing together. Because she can transform into any shape, she'd simply been playing both roles as Kevin all along. But while visiting her friend's room as Kevin, the bracelet suddenly stops working mid-disguise. Riding in the car with Tyler afterward, she receives pregnancy-related calls in front of him, and right as suspicion builds, thunder strikes and reverts her to her real face, shocking Tyler completely. She tries to claim his own face has changed too, but when he returns to the office, a coworker confirms the calls were meant for Samantha, deepening his suspicion. Learning Samantha's taken leave from work, Tyler and Samantha's sister head to her house to sort things out, but Samantha and Kevin, actually her friend transformed via bracelet, appear together, and Kevin suddenly appears to bleed out and die, leaving Tyler racked with guilt for supposedly causing it. It's later revealed this was all staged. A bracelet update letting Samantha reshape her friend's appearances too, so they could stage a fake death to make Tyler let go of Kevin. Tyler keeps blaming himself until he notices the blood on his shirt isn't real. He visits the civil registry to find no record of anyone named Kevin, then asks Samantha about the character's family. She claims a grandmother is still alive, so she transforms into an elderly woman at a fabricated grandmother's house. Meanwhile, his friend, searching for the address, gets roughed up trying to find it, eventually locating what turns out to be Samantha's own grandfather's house. Tyler pretends to be blind when he arrives, and Samantha, disguised as the old woman, takes him to a doctor, who again calls it psychological. She then drops him home, and Tyler, struck by her strength and her uncanny familiarity with his house's layout, notices a novel cover that looks oddly familiar. Back at her real grandmother's house, Samantha calls to ask why Tyler keeps contacting her. He explains he's now blind and she offers to help. Meanwhile, Tyler's friend confesses his feelings to Samantha's friend. Tyler takes a week off on doctor's orders to spend time with Samantha and the grandmother, so Samantha turns her friend into the grandmother disguise. But Tyler's friend recognizes the transformation, furious, and throws them both out without explanation. Tyler later tells his friend everything he's pieced together. Every mysterious figure he's seen has been an illusion. His friend reassures him that since no one actually died, he shouldn't blame himself. One day, Samantha waits outside Tyler's house. When he steps out, she follows and notices two suspicious men trailing him, and he recognizes her presence even without seeing her face. As the men give chase, Samantha uses the bracelet to disguise herself as an old woman and turn Tyler into a young boy. Startled by his new look, he watches her switch to Mia's face, restore his real appearance, and take down the man who'd been secretly filming him. Tyler calls the police. Stunned that he can still recognize her, Samantha hears him say, "I know who you are. You're Samantha. I was trying to expose you," and bolts. That night, he insists they finally meet to talk it through, and she tells him the whole truth, explaining she'd done it all for his sake. Tyler forgives her, but walks away heartbroken. The next day, an anxious Samantha goes to work, unsure how to act. Her new idea impresses everyone at a meeting, and she volunteers to test the company's products at a nursing home, where Tyler notices her genuine kindness toward the residents. That night he stays up late drawing her portrait, and the next morning arrives with flowers to confess his love. She's skeptical at first, but as they talk through their shared history, he clarifies an old misunderstanding. When he'd once criticized her makeup in a photo, he'd meant the product quality, not her looks. As lightning flashes, her appearance shifts again, but for the first time, they both feel truly understood by each other. Tyler asks her to stay in this current form until the bracelet's effect naturally passes, and out of caution she pulls away from her family for a while, worrying them enough that they ask her friend to help track her down. Learning she's simply in a new relationship, they're overjoyed and invite Tyler to meet the family. Her friend brings her own boyfriend along too, since she has no family of her own. Eventually Samantha reverts to normal, unaware that yet another bracelet update now reveals her inner thoughts, letting Tyler actually see what she's thinking. Their relationship becomes public knowledge, and a new work project succeeds. One night after coming home drunk, Samantha stays over at Tyler's, and his sister is thrilled to find them together the next morning. But as Samantha tries to leave, she starts transforming uncontrollably, into a sheep, into Ryan, into other random forms, before the malfunctioning bracelet triggers an invisibility effect and she vanishes entirely. Even invisible, Tyler can still sense her presence. She explains that the old woman who gave her the bracelet is behind everything, and together they resolve to track her down. A record search reveals the old woman actually died 2 years earlier. No matter what they try, they can't break the bracelet, so Samantha gathers her family and co-workers to finally explain everything. Her family had believed she was traveling, her co-workers that she was sick. Tyler brings her color-coded labels so she won't get confused again, then proposes and she says yes. As they all sit together happily, the bracelet suddenly rings, asking Samantha whether she wants to keep playing this game. She answers that she wants to return to her real appearance and her old life for good. The old woman's spirit agrees, arranging to meet her the next day. When the day comes, Tyler goes with her, and right there her appearance permanently returns to normal. Everyone can finally see her true face again. It's revealed the old woman orchestrated everything so Samantha could learn to value and love herself. The bracelet slips off easily at last, and the old woman departs for good. Samantha settles into a peaceful life with Tyler. Later, Samantha's friend turns out to be pregnant, and Samantha accompanies her to a checkup. Leaving the hospital, they run into the friend's boyfriend and his mother, who mistakenly assumes Samantha is the pregnant one, and that the baby is Tyler's, until it's clarified that Samantha's friend is the one expecting. Everyone celebrates the news. Tyler then sets up a small tent for a proper proposal, but when it doesn't go as planned, Samantha secretly slips the ring on herself and proposes to him instead. He happily agrees and they marry in a simple wedding. No disguises, no transformations, no heavy makeup, and everyone lives happily ever after. That's where the series ends.